Quicker setup, more maneuverability when spraying, and much easier cleanup. That's what you're gonna get with the 3M PPS 2.0 system on your metal sprayer gun. Today I'm gonna walk through all the things on how to do that on our Wyzall Stingray Sprayer gun, and you can also utilize this on many other gun systems, so I really wanted to get this out. So whether you're using our Wyzall paints on your gun or our gun, you have this brand new thing that you can use that I've found as a beginner that's so amazing. I mean, wait till you see all the things. So if this is something you're looking forward to, stay tuned today. All right, so before we get started, I'm gonna walk through all the different parts. I'm gonna flip the camera down. We're gonna get an up close view so you can really see exactly what the parts are, how it all connects together on this specific gun, and you'll get the different adapters and things for your gun if you have something that's not the Wyzall Stingray Sprayer gun. So we're gonna bring this down, show you more specifically all the little parts, and then we're gonna jump to my first time ever using it, which was just the other day. I recorded it, documented it, whatever you wanna call it, so I could actually share my initial impression, my initial reaction based on what I knew from the research and information that I've got from Apollo about this specific 3M PPS 2.0 system. So that's gonna be cool. It shows me spraying with it, all kinds of extra stuff to go along with actually the parts and how we put it all together, which is what we're gonna go through next. So I'm gonna bring you forward, pull you down, walk you through all these, and then we're gonna jump to me actually using it on a sprayed piece right here in my shop. Looking forward to sharing that with you. All right, so obviously I have the Wyzall Stingray Sprayer gun, which is an Apollo HVLP gun, and this is the bare bones that comes with it, right? So if you bought a normal gun, a HVLP gun, this one is where it goes from the bottom up. You would normally have this whole cup assembly, right? So what the 3M PPS 2.0 system is gonna allow you to do is to take this whole piece off and replace it all together with what's going to be disposable and storable options. Instead of only having the one cup or having this whole area to clean every single time, you're gonna be able to set this off to the side, have it for when you need it, but won't need it all the time because you're gonna have this brand new way to utilize your Stingray sprayer that's gonna be quicker, easier. Man, there's a whole bunch of things. So what we're gonna start off with is just, okay, I have the Stingray sprayer gun. To utilize this 3M PPS system, you first and foremost have to have the correct adapter. So what I have here is the 26054 number S18 adapter. And basically you're gonna just screw this on where your cup assembly would go, just like so. And then this will connect to the PPS system, and I'll show you that here in a second. But this is a very important part. It's specific to your gun. So if you have the Wyzall Stingray Sprayer gun, you'll need the S18, and the part number is 26054. I'll have that in the video description for you guys. That's a very important part, okay? So you have that. So this is a HVLP gun, so you're also gonna need a specific cup, and it's called the HO cup. And basically, again, I'm really new at all this, so I'm not gonna really narrow down the specific technical terms of everything maybe the way I should, but it's a pressure cup, okay? So what this cup is gonna allow you to do is connect up to your gun and utilize the gun's air pressure to push the paint up and through the gun and out, okay? So to utilize it on an HVLP gun, you're gonna need this HO pressure cup. And again, I'll also have this in the video description below. And put this off to the side for now. It comes with the top and it just looks like this, okay? Now the main thing you get, so this big box I have here, is all the disposable stuff. So this is the Series 2.0. They have upgraded their system to add in some new, better functionality to it. And it's a spray cup system, ultimately. When you buy a system, you can get it in different sizes, different micron filters, which I'll get to in a second. I ended up getting the 28 ounce, so I got the larger size. You see, this is the actual disposable cup, and it's a cup, but it's like a plastic bag almost, okay? So what you're gonna get within your box is you're gonna get one of these hard cups, and this is what you would use if you had a gravity fed sprayer. So if you do have one of those, you use this, and you don't necessarily need the HO cup the way I understand it. I just know for mine, because it's an HVLP, that I need the HO cup. So this was just something that comes with it. You get one of them within your big box of lids and liners, okay? But I don't really use that, so that kind of sits off to the side. So what you'll get is a whole gang of these liners, because again, they're all disposable. A whole gang of these lids. Now this is one of the main parts. So at the beginning I said quicker setup. So when you actually are setting up for spraying, you need to filter your paint. So for our Wise Owl paints, the viscosity of the 1 hour enamel straight out of the can does not need to be watered down or anything like that. So you can basically use it right away after you filtered it. Well, the easier setup part for using the 3M PPS system is it actually has a built-in filter. And hopefully you can see that on camera. But basically, the paint is going to go up through the filter and into your gun and out to your spraying surface. So you will not need to filter it beforehand. So basically, you could just pour it in the cup and go and not have to worry about the whole filtering system, as long as obviously your viscosity is where it needs to be for that material. You can pour it right in the cup and go, or you can pour it into the cup and make it the viscosity it needs to be by thinning by however much you need to. But ultimately, the easier part of your setup for spraying is just simply the fact that you will not need to filter your paint anymore because it has a built-in filter. The ones I got was the 200 micron. I believe there's another 160, 180, something like that, and the lids will be a different color. But I got the 200 micron and they've been working amazingly well. So you have the lids, and then you have the liners, and then you have the cup that comes with it. You get one of those. So you put this in here normally, you put this on top, screw it in, and then stick it on top of your gun. Well, I have an HVLP, I have a Wise Owl Stingray Sprayer, so I needed the HO cup. So I take this out, take out my liner, set this off to the side. I'm not going to use this at all. So you get one of them every time you buy a big kit. So it's kind of cool to have, just as something hard to have around when you need to set that in there or anything like that. But for purposes of this video, it's really just an extra thing I'm not going to need and or use. Now, the main part of this is going to be the HO cup. So this is your cup. This is an actual hard cup all the way through. It has the hose that goes from down at the bottom and all the way up and then into your gun. And that's what's going to allow the air pressure to push the paint up and through. And I'll give you an example. You'll see it actually on the video really, really well. You take one of your liners and you're going to stick that right down in here, just like so. Very, very easy. And then you're going to take your top that would go onto this and screw into place, and you're going to put it on top of your HO cup. Now this is a tricky part that you may or may not know that needs to happen. So there's nothing to screw onto. There's nothing, it just kind of sits there. And then, oh, by the way, when I need to put this on top, this is in the way. So simply pop it off. So you're going to tip it upside down and just pop this little black bracket, screw on thingy-mabobber, I don't even know what you want to call it. It just pops right off, just like so. If I can get it to come off, there we go. And then just throw it away because you're not ever going to need it, especially if you're using the HO cup. And again, there's your filter. Hopefully you guys can see that really good. And then now it'll sit right down in here and it'll kind of click into place. See if you can hear it. See that? Now there's nothing stopping the top from screwing on. Now you have a little indent here, a little indent here, and you have two little spots here where that needs to match up with. So you match that up, just like so. And you just screw this really tight into place and you're good to go. And then with your gun, as you saw, I put the adapter on. So you put your adapter, and this is specific to your gun. So you have to check with the manufacturer of 3M and the PPS system and see which one matches up with your gun. For the Stingray, it's the S18. And then you just take and they'll have the thread that's gonna thread into here. You turn that counterclockwise away from that, push it down into place, and then turn it clockwise into little brackets. And now it's locked into place. Just like that, okay? And then next, you can go through the little bracket thing here, up and around, because the tube's kind of long, and then secure it to your gun, just like that. And what's gonna happen is, you're gonna connect it to your turbine, start spraying. Well, initially, you can understand there's gonna be paint and there's gonna be air in between. Well, because it's a pressure cup, the air is gonna come out and that bag is gonna start to crumple and crush and push all the paint up through and out of your gun. So it's gonna allow you to ensure you use all the paint. It's really amazing, honestly. And then the other big thing that I mentioned in the intro is maneuverability. Because it's a pressure cup, I don't have to worry about having to shoot straight up and down. I can go upside down, sideways, crossway, any different way I want to, because the pressure is always gonna be the same no matter what directionality I have with the gun. So that's really awesome. I did a couple, you'll see on the video after this, how I did the drawer and I went upside down to get around the other side, and no sputtering, no issues at all whatsoever, because it's literally, the pressure is pushing it out. So no matter which way you have it, it's gonna work. And then also, when it's pushing that paint through, it's pushing it through the filter. So you know you'll always have filtered paint without having to worry about doing it prior to, which is absolutely incredible. So then you're all done. And what do? Well, you're gonna detach your hose, okay? You're going to pull the tube off your gun, like so. You're gonna open your adjustment knob all the way, and you're gonna let all the air out, and all that compressed bag that will mush all the way up to the top as it's pushing paint out will fall back down, and you'll see the bag just kind of open back up, and I'll again have that in the video. And then you can take your gun off. So just twist and pop it up. And then you only have this to clean, which is, again, the cleaning part. We don't have the whole cup assembly to clean, the tube, all the different things. You just have the gun. So you just take this part apart, clean it up real good. And then what's even cooler at the very end of this thing, so I'm done, but there's still paint in here, right? And one of the things that's always kind of a pain in the butt is, taking your can and dumping the paint back into your other can. That in that paint you already, have the right viscosity because you did. So it's like, do you move it back? Do you leave it? What do you do if you only have one can? You kind of have to get it out of there. Well, this is a disposable, storable system. So watch what you can do. You just take and you pop this whole thing right out. Check that out. Just like that, okay? And then this thing, as you can see, because it's a little loose right now, just because I haven't really had anything in there. Normally when you got the pressure going, it really holds it and taut and tight into place, okay? So you pull this out and you have this to store wherever you want to. So as an example, I have another one, because it's coming a little bit loose just because it was never actually used. So here's another one as an example, where the top is connected to the liner. It snapped into place because of the pressure that was used and the paint, obviously. And then what you have is these plugs. Let's see if I can grab one for you. Have these plugs, okay? So you take the plug, you pop the plug into here, and then you can turn it upside down just like I have with that. And obviously, like I said, this is not really snapping into place like it would from the pressure like it did on that one. because I haven't used it yet, but you get the idea. So, and it has kind of a wide base to the plug, so you can just set it off to the side. And what you need to do is have it upside down, so the paint, whatever paint's left in there, will sit in the filter and keep the filter from getting dried and gross, so it doesn't work. So like today, I got to go back and I got to spray a couple spots on the piece I'm working on. All I have to do is take this, pop it back in my HO cup like this, put the top back on, pop the plug, connect it to my gun, and then go. And then again, the only thing I'll have left to clean is the gun, because I will just connect the gun, take this off, take this back out, just like so, and then I'll just set it off to the side with whatever paint I have left. And that's how amazing it is to clean, because obviously I used this yesterday. It got a little dust on the hose, but that was it. The outside's still pretty clean because you're not going to have any actual paint touching any of that part. So it makes the cleaning just so easy. And then you know you're going to be using all of the paint. You're not going to have any stuck to the sides of your can. Anything that's in there is going to get pressured, pushed all the way through the gun and out for you to actually utilize. So this thing is really amazing. I'm super excited to share this video. I literally have only used it the one time, which I'm going to share here in a second for you guys to see. But I was that excited to share because it really cut down the time. Setup was just straight up pouring the paint in here. So I put the liner in here like this, poured my paint in, put my top on, put this on, and then started painting because the filter is already in there, right? And then the maneuverability of it, because it's a pressure cup, I could tip it upside down and do all kinds of cool things without having to worry about always having a consistent up and down motion because the can is fed from the bottom. And then of course the very end, the cleaning. Cleaning was just, I mean, so awesome, so easy. You're saving paint, you're not wasting paint, and this guy can just sit off to the side for any time I might need some Poseidon to use again. So hopefully this was helpful just to kind of walk through the parts and pieces and how this whole thing works. And then you're also going to get actual use of, here in a second, the first time ever using it. And hopefully that's a little bit even more help to help you just see that this is something that you might want for your Wyzall Stingray sprayer or any other spray system that you have that you're spraying Wyzall paints with. What's up, y'all? So today I'm testing out something brand new. It's a 3M PPS system, and I have the HO cup because it's a HVLP. So basically, the long and the short of it, the way I understand, remembering I'm a beginner, it's the first time I've ever done this and I'm recording it, go figure, is the fact that the air using the tube that's going to be pumped in to push out the product is also going to be used to push the pressure of the little bag that's inside this hard cup and push the paint out. And from that, I'm going to be able to tip the thing upside down any which way I want to, no matter whether I got a cup here or cup here, doesn't really matter, because the air is the pressure cup is gonna push the paint out. So we're gonna test this thing out. We're gonna see how it works. And oh, by the way, if you didn't know, the filter or the cup has a built-in filter. So I didn't even have to filter the paint. I just poured it into the cup, and as it gets forced through the filter and out, it will get filtered. Pretty cool stuff. I'll have some more details on this, but I just wanted to videotape this for the records of the world on the fact that I use this as my first time ever. Today I felt like it was a good day. I had time to jump on it. I just delivered the other piece to the store. So we're gonna try this thing out, and I'm gonna just continue videotaping. I'm gonna change out my paper and show you how this works, show you what happens with the cup, the whole thing. It might be a little loud. I might end up doing a voiceover, but I just wanted to share with you guys, so stay tuned. All right, so we're going straight voiceover, and everything is set up. I got the air on. I turned my adjustment knob all the way closed to start. which is usually how I go, just to ensure I don't have it too far open by accident and spray paint all over the place. Of course, be sure to use iPro and a respirator anytime you're spraying, because dust will get everywhere when you're spraying and you don't want that all in your lungs. So, okay, here we go. So I open it back up. You see my little dot on there. I know 1 hour enamel is usually about 1 full turn. That little dot I put on there with a permanent marker helps me know that fact, which is just one of those little tricks that I found along the way, because it's usually about 1 full turn. So very first thing, you can see the bag on the inside is already starting to compress because the air and the pressure is starting to pull all the air out of the bag, whatever air was in there. And you see nothing's coming out, it's just straight air right now. And I even put my hand on there. I'm like, is this working? What's going on here? But there it goes. So it's like, oh, there's paint. And you can see it compressed it all the way down as far as it could go, taking all the air out until it hit paint, and then paint starts coming out. So that's your first step. Have your practice board, which you should have in your spray area anyway, and pull the trigger until it has paint come out, and then test and turn and do your knob. And I was feeling air, so you can see me do that a couple times, just making sure that the tube was on there tight. And that's all I was making sure. And you can see my spray looks really, really good. I'm just like ever so gently turning it here or there. But again, 1 hour enamel is usually about 1 full turn, depending on, you know, how much you're using, how you hold it, etc., etc. But that's been my experience with it. And you just spray, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. I was like, wow, this is really cool. Okay, so you know, there was no change in how the paint actually came out of the machine using this system. So that was a first great start to how this went. All right, now we're actually getting some spraying done. I'm just going to speed through this, but I just wanted to show you the spraying experience was exactly the same as it was with having the whole cup assembly on there. Obviously, the one big, which is actually a very big difference, is I could be tipping this thing upside down, sideways, all different kind of ways, because it's a pressure cup. So it doesn't have a tube that's going down into that liner to pull the paint out. It's pressurizing and pushing it out, which is really, really amazing. So you'll see I'm not having any problems. It's not sputtering. It's really beautiful and even and all the things. I was very, very happy for the very first time ever using it. I mean, it turned out just beautiful. And then of course that color is amazing too. It's Poseidon 1 hour enamel, and it's looking awesome. And you can see it compressed that liner down. I'm going to go a little slower here in a second because I want you to see me when I get to the end. I turn that thing right upside down. See that? And there is no sputtering or stopping or anything with the sprayer. So I got to that side and I was a little lazy. I didn't want to walk around, so I just tipped it upside down. Amazing stuff. That's just another one of those maneuverability things that's going to make it much easier to use and get in and around places that you need to. All right, so don't mind my face. It's all sweaty and gross, sorry. But here's the end result after spraying. It was about a half a quart I think I had left of the Poseidon. I'm probably going to need a little bit more. But what's also cool, as you can tell, is you can see inside to know that fact, to know how far along you are. That's the one thing with the metal cup as a beginner for me that was a little frustrating, is I didn't know, I couldn't gauge it based on the weight to know how much was left in there. So this is just another cool thing. And you can see it's just compressing the bag, pushing it up, and allowing me to be able to tip it. I mean, you'll see in the video, I'm tipping upside down and having no sputtering, nothing. And it worked really, really good. So it actually is filtering as it's going up and through. So I didn't have to worry about filtering. I literally just poured it into the thing, put the top on, connected it up, and went. So I got to skip that whole step, especially knowing that the 1 hour enamel was already at spraying viscosity right out of the can. So I just poured it in, and away I went. And you see from the video, I mean, it was amazing. burnt great, tipping upside down, all the things. So I'm really excited about this to share it even more as I go. All right, now we are going to add some paint to our HO cup because what it looked like I was about to run out. I only had, I think, about a half a quart in here to start with. I should have known it wasn't going to paint a whole big piece like that. So I've got it disconnected from the turbine, got it disconnected, and then I pulled the trigger, which allowed the air to go back down into the cup. You can see the cup fell, right? So what I should be able to do, let me get a blue shop out. In theory, since this is my first time ever using this thing, I should just be able to, so you twist and then pop this off, and that's the gun, okay? And then unscrew this guy if I can, okay? Take this off. This just holds it all in place. And this guy here just sits down in there. All I should have to do is pop this off and add some more paint to it, in theory. So we shall see here in a second. Oh yeah, too easy. And you can see there's the filter. So the paint gets sucked up through the filter and then out this spot. So when you store it, you're going to store it upside down so the paint sits with the filter, and I'll get more into that later. I just want to go over this while I had it. So there's actually more in there than I thought. So when it compresses, it's hard to tell how much is actually in there. So that was a little tricky. So now we're going to probably make a mess pouring more paint in there, but we're just going to do it and try not to make too big of a mess. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Just kind of stir it around in the cup here. And we'll go back in reverse order. Put everything back the way I found it. It's a little thick. A little thick. It seems swirly sitting, but I think we're going to roll on it. Put this Apollo to work today. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. The little wormies are falling quick enough. Okay, put that back over here. And that's going to be enough to do my second coat. Put the top back on. Like so. Pops down into place. This lines up with the little lines on the sides, so you know you got it in the right spot. Twist real tight, and then the adapter just punches down in there like that, and then really just easy, just twists, and it locks into place. That seals everything up real good. Oh yeah, make sure it's good and tight. And I got this still turned all the way closed, so I'm not getting any air to the inside of my gun. All right, and we should be good and ready to go on to the next coat. Whew. All right, all done, did second coat. Now I'm done with the cup. Now you wonder how the heck do you do what you're supposed to do with this thing. So first, obviously take the hose off, and then you're going to disconnect tube from the gun. You just pop this guy off like that, and then you are going to release the air. So you're going to watch the little bag drop. Let's see, let's open it up a little bit. Watch the bag just drop. So I'm allowing air to get back down into the bag. It's like a cup, but it's a bag material. So it sits in there like a cup initially, and then as the pressure pushes it all back up in there. Look at my face maskness. Okay, so open it up as far as you can, and just keep squeezing. I used almost all the paint, and that's the other really cool part about using the HO cup with the 3M PPS system is you're not going to waste any paint because it's going to literally suck the paint up in, so whatever little bits in there is going to get used, and it's going to be a constant pressure of, so there won't be any sputtering or whatever, especially when you're tilting it upside down and around and all the different kind of things. But you can just see that. So more air I let get into it, the further it's going to go. And you just keep doing that until it falls all the way down. It might not fall all the way down because there's not really much weight in there. If there was more, it would fall probably quite a bit quicker. And then once this is done, I'm going to pop this off and I'll show you how that goes. Just going to give it a minute to do this. All right, so after a couple minutes, you can see there's not much weight, so it's not pulling it in tight taut, so it's like an actual cup thing again. So let's see here, we got some shower towel action. I'm just going to go in reverse order. We're going to take the gun off, you turn half, quarter turn, or whatever it is, and it just pops it off. Okay, take that out there. Now that's all I have to clean, obviously. That's pretty cool. Unscrew this thing, which doesn't get paint or anything on it, so you don't need to clean that. Now this right here, I don't have to clean it all, because watch this. This is the cool part. If I get it to come out anyway. Look at that. Look at how cool that is. And there is a little bit of paint in there. And again, the filter is on the top. So what I'm going to do is get one of my plugs, which I don't know where they are. Let me get a plug real quick so I can show you guys. All right, here we go. So plug. Take the plug. Pop it on this bad boy. Pop just like that, right? And then flip it upside down. That way your filter stays wet. So you just want to make sure that that thing's on there real good. I think I got it on there good. Oh, yeah, that's good. And flip it upside down, and whatever paint's in there will keep the filter wet so it doesn't get all dry and gross. And then you can just set it off to the side. And I'll be like, okay, if I need some more Poseidon and 1 hour enamel, I know I'll have it. I know there's not a lot in there, so I'm probably not going to leave it like that, but you can see how that's a whole lot easier than dumping it back into the can and doing the back and forth thing. As long as you have it upside down, you're going to be good. And with the plug on there, it kind of has a wide base, not a super wide base, but wide enough where it's not going to tip over necessarily unless I bump into it. So if I kind of set it off to the side, it should be good to go. So that's it. And then for the gun, I have the adapter to clean. You can see I'll have to clean the adapter and then the gun, and that's it. I won't have the whole cup assembly to clean with the tube and all the things. I won't have to worry about any of that. And then this is already clean, other than what the outside might have got dry spray on it. Like the tube got a little bit of dry spray. I'll probably just wipe that off or not, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. And then it's ready to go again. And that's the other thing that's cool is the gun will be easier to clean. And I could go right back to doing something else because I get another one of these, the cups, because these are all disposable. So this is disposable, the little tab thing is disposable, the cup thing that goes around it is disposable. All of it's disposable. So when you buy the system, you buy like the cups as a disposable item. So it's just really easy, and that's all there's to it, man. This was really cool. It's my first time ever using it. Definitely feel like it's a must-have thing already, just simply for the cleaning aspect, and then the tilting it upside down aspect was really cool because it went on really smooth. More to come on this, but this is just a quick little video to show you my first time ever using the 3M PPS system on my Wiseout Paint Stingray Sprayer by Apollo. So there you have it, the 3M PPS 2.0 spray cup system on my Wiseout Stingray Sprayer gun, which is an Apollo made HVLP gun. This one, I mean, to me, was one of those videos I knew I needed to do, and I recorded what I recorded, kind of not knowing if it was gonna work out. Honestly, glad I recorded it so I could share my first experience with you guys. Again, beginner. Sprayed 3 pieces my whole life so far. Loving it. Loving screaming it from the clouds to everyone about it, because it just makes that furniture painting experience more enjoyable. You have that one color finish that you can do with a spray gun that is just really hard to duplicate with a brush. Trust me, I've been brushing only since 2016, and having a sprayer in my life has been really cool. So to find these other tools and tips and tricks to share with you guys, someone out there that maybe is brand new to spraying and is like the anxiety of the cleaning or the anxiety of the setup, all the things that hopefully my videos are helping you guys with. And this video is just another one of those to show you more of the things to make spraying enjoyable. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit subscribe, hit like. In the comments down below, let me know if there's anything else you need to know, either about the PPS system or our YSL Stingray Sprayer gun. You can find our YSL Stingray Sprayer on our website. I'll have the link down below for that. And that's going to be it for today. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and as always, happy painting.